Hi there, Ann Shibani from The Influential Author here. We're going to spend some time talking about the About Me page of your website. What the purpose of that page is, what should be included, what should be left off of it, that sort of thing. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little story. Walt and I had our Connecticut house on the market a couple of years back. It was a 7-bedroom monstrosity with a very odd floor plan. 7 bedrooms, by the way, is perfect for a blended family like ours, or an in-law situation, whatever. But it's not for the average family. Half of the house was 150 years old. The other half was quite modern, as it was custom built, I don't know, maybe a decade ago. It was the largest house in the neighborhood as well. All this being said, we hadn't been happy with our realtor. We decided to call 1 or 2 different realtors in for an interview. They were told that they would be replacing the current realtor when her contract was up, that we were interviewing for her replacement. In other words, we invited them for an interview. You think I emphasized the word interview enough? One day, Elaine showed up. Elaine walked into the house, sat on the couch, and spent the first 15 minutes telling us about the company she worked for. According to her, Coldwell Banker has been in business for over 100 years. They had a wonderful group of realtors in her office. They all helped each other. Each Friday, they sent out reports showing how many people had viewed a house on all the listing sites. Katie French, by the way, the top producer in town, she worked at her office. On and on she went, telling us all about the company credentials. Then she started in on her credentials. She'd been selling real estate for, 14 years. She knew the neighborhood because she dated some dude from town when she was in high school. He used to live on this street or the next one over. Then she broke out the reports, the comparable for sales in the area. There were 15 different bar graphs showing average prices, lengths on the market. I don't know what else. They looked pretty impressive, or so she thought. Only after regaling us with this stuff did she begin to ask us questions. She didn't seem to have any understanding of our unique situation. She didn't ask why we were firing the other realtor, what we believed the issues were. She seemed happily clueless. We looked at each other, Walt and I, and rolled our eyes. There was no way in how we were going to hire this woman because she clearly did not understand what the problem was. If she didn't understand the problem, she most certainly did not have the solution, and we were looking for solutions. I tell you this story because what old Elaine did in our living room is about what most of us do on our About Me pages. We think the About Me page is the place to impress our potential clients. That's where we display all of our certifications and our processes and our service menus. That's where we lie about how long we've been doing this stuff. We think this is the spot that we tell them how magnificent we are, and we strut and strut and strut. But what we end up doing when we break out the sales pitch, when we tell our potential clients stuff that they have zero interest in hearing about, is we repel them, we bore them, we reveal our insecurities, we send them running the opposite way. Potential clients are interested in only one thing. Can this person help solve my very particular problem? Does this person understand the nuances of my situation? Only then do they ask themselves the following questions. Do I like them? Do I trust them? Do I think they have the goods? I'm pretty sure none of us gets to skip making the mistakes we'll be talking about today. We all do this stuff when we're in the process of getting clear for ourselves. So if you see yourself in some of the do not do's, no shame there. If you don't have the About Me section up on your site yet, consider yourself lucky because you'll know what to avoid. I'm going to take you over to my website first so I can walk you through what I've done. I'm going to talk you through it because, you're going to look at it in your own time. And I want to tell you why I've made the choices I've made so you can check it out. You go to annshibani.com. The moment you land on the About Me page, you should notice something interesting. I immediately begin by addressing my potential client. I refer to them in the second person, you. We also know what my potential clients want, and we know it right away. They want to take their musings and turn it into a book. You get my tone immediately. I'm a whipcracker, a drill sergeant. Why did I put this here? Because over the years, I've discovered that writers, creative types, they want someone to hold their feet to the fire, to create deadlines they don't dare miss. I'm responding to a very specific want. I've heard this want many, many times. You want this? I can give it to you. I also use the expression random musings because it makes people laugh, which softens the tone. I'm playing with my tone, not too hard, not too soft. Moving down, I then tell my visitors precisely what I am, what I specialize in, one clear sentence. This allows them to know if they're in the right place. What do people I work with want? Believe me, they don't want to write a book. That's just a vehicle to get what they're really after. They want impact and they want to make more money. Do they want other stuff? Sure. But we want to hit the two biggest, the most common desires, the ones that you hear over and over again, the ones you intuit. By the way, do I do other stuff? Absolutely. Can I help you write a novel or a memoir? Sure. Half my clients are doing this. Can I help you with your web copy and your blogs? Absolutely. And people ask me all the time if I can help them with that stuff. So don't think you have to create a menu of all of the things you're able to do. Speak to one very specific target market who are after one very specific outcome. Don't confuse people. The reason many have said this page is so sharp is because I have narrowed it in on one target market and one big result. Notice that I don't lead with my certifications. I've got a couple professional seals over the side there, at least they used to be there. But the fact that I'm not babbling about this stuff, that creates an air of confidence. The seals I chose are relevant to the big outcome I give people. I'm a Harvard-trained writer. I'm an elite business coach. I understand writing. I understand business. These two aspects of my training are absolutely relevant. I now describe my target market to a T. This way they immediately recognize themselves. Very busy professionals with way too many ideas. Oh my God, that's me. I'm super busy and I could write 16 books. Now, I took the risk of using the F word for several reasons. The first, I don't tend to work with corporate types who would be ill-advised to use that language, by the way. And the word goes with the tone I've chosen to use. And I actually use this word quite a bit when I talk, when I'm excited about an idea. So I don't want to surprise or upset my clients when I get comfortable with them, because that would bother me a lot. Now, when I landed on a website and saw people using that language, I totally fell in love. I wanted to work with them because I recognized another kindred spirit, a rebel, a rule buster. I felt immediately at home. I noticed how the use of that language, what it brought up in me, and I wanted to recreate that experience. Notice the language people use on their sites, what makes you feel at home, and model that. Just so you know, I've had more than one instance where I put people off with the language on my website, with my tone. They don't like my style. It doesn't feel good when that happens, but I'd rather drive people away at this point than later in the game. The way I work section. Now, even though I'm talking about me, I'm really speaking to what my clients want. The aspects I reveal about myself are all about the big result I give them. My job is to get you a publishable book. I'm speaking to what they want. So only now do I get to my certifications. All of these certifications are relevant to the book writing process. My certs stand to benefit them. I'm not talking about the fact that I have a BS in chemistry or that I lived in Iran for 5 years, that I live in Ireland most of the time, because these are irrelevant to the outcome. So I'll save you time and money. Time equals money. I'm using this to demonstrate the benefits of working with me. This has everything to do with what my customers want. People don't want to know everything about me, just enough to know that I've got the goods and a style that they'll respond to. They want to know what I understand, or they want to know that I understand their life and that I get their needs completely. This is what Elaine the realtor totally missed. I let my tone, my image, those seals do the heavy lifting. I don't have to use a lot of words. Okay. I'm going to talk about a former client of mine, a website she put up a number of years ago. You can't see it anymore, but I'll describe it for you simply to make a few teaching points. First, she had this great image on her About Me page That's the first thing we saw. She was smiling and open and polished and inviting. Scanning down, I'm going to read the description of who she is and what she does. Listen carefully because I'll come back to the points again and again. So I'm so-and-so. My goal is to add more value to your world than you ever imagined possible by giving you the tools and techniques you can use immediately, as well as the support you need to successfully navigate life at a crossroads and begin living the life you've always dreamed of. Through my videos, programs, and live events, you'll get straight talk, practical wisdom, and proven techniques from someone who has been there and done that. I help people dig deep and dream big and back it up with proven results. I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. This is not a journey we can do alone. We need connection, support, and guidance. Whether divorce, death, loss of custody, or empty nest, waking up to find the money gone, or entering the second half of life and realizing you've lost the only thing that truly matters, yourself. No matter what your personal life crossroads, I can teach you how to navigate the bumps. What are you waiting for? Okay, I'm done reading. I'm going to start tapping around here, speaking extemporaneously. The first thing is, by reading this description, I don't know two very important things. I don't know who, let's call her Betty, who Betty's target market is. And I don't know what big result Betty gives them. And that's the problem that needs to be addressed right now. I help people dig deep and dream big and back it up with proven results. Dig deep, like dig a trench in the backyard big enough for a pool. People, like linebackers, teenagers, unwed mothers, sex workers, divorcees, single women, people pleasers, executives, housewives, mothers of multiples. All right, you see my point. What kind of people? Dream big. So, is the problem a lack of imagination, a lack of personal vision? Do they need to be exposed to bigger and better vacation options, job options, wardrobe options? Back it up. Well, what does it mean? Back what up? All right, I'm being silly here, but here's my point. We all do this stuff, particularly at the beginning of our entrepreneurial endeavors. We stay airy, non-specific, because we're not precisely sure what people want from us, what they'll pay us to help them do. It takes time to hone in on this stuff. It takes time to choose the exact sort of person we can most benefit and describe the very specific problem that they're searching for a solution for. So Betty's goal is to add more value to these people's world. I don't understand that. Like, what specifically does that look like? Can you help me navigate a difficult decision, organize my closets, free myself from an unhappy relationship, get my 20-year-old out of his basement and into his own life? We all want to add value. If we don't, why would anybody pay us? Okay, through my video programs. Just so you know, if you're not currently doing this in your own copy, describing the way you deliver your services, you've done it before and we've all done this. No one gets away without going through this phase. No one cares how you deliver your services. Not at this point anyway. The same way, Elaine the realtor handed me her graphs, told me about her reports, the statistics she uses to come to the best house price to list houses at, the very stuff that made our eyes roll into the back of our head. That's what Betty is doing here. Betty's describing the plane. All right, I'll tell you what I mean. People hire you because they're in pain. They have a very real problem that they need to solve. They're actively looking for a solution to this problem. They're living on Pain Island. These people, they want to go to Pleasure Island. They want their problem solved so they can enjoy the benefits of having that problem solved. They want joy, freedom, peace of mind, money, a hot partner, whatever. They don't actually care how you get them off of Pain Island onto Pleasure Island. They don't care that you're going to load them onto a 747 with a United Technology engine that never breaks down or a refurbished M16 jet. They just want to get to Pleasure Island. They want to know that you understand Pain Island, that you have gotten people to Pleasure Island. They don't care how you do that. They don't care if you have video programs or 6-week classes they can take, or that you do EFT or NLP with them, or you wave a magic wand. They need to recognize their problem, their very specific problem, and they need to see a glimpse of Pleasure Island salvation, respite from their pain. All right, back to Betty. Been there, done that. Been where, done what? You're going to have to choose who you are marketing to and their very specific problems. Think of these phrases as place markers. Go back in and get specific. The good news is that Betty has a list of things she can address from personal experience. She's navigated divorce, death, loss of custody of her children, empty nest, spousal betrayal, the loss of money and prestige. All of these are very different things. I would choose one to market to speak to, particularly on the About Me page. Can you do all of these things? Absolutely. I can show you how to write a novel, but I'm not going to give you this big list. I can help you write a novel or a web page or an article for the Huffington Post or a keynote speech. I start looking like a jack of all trades, master of none, if I ramble off a list like that. All right, then Betty says, back it up with proven results? Do you mean you have people who can attest to the fact that you've helped them? Then by all means, drop a testimonial or 3 on this page. Put that stuff in here on your About Me page. Show them, don't tell them. I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. All right, you demonstrate this by describing their problem to a T, by the way, not explaining that. By describing all of the emotions and the angst and the stuff they're thinking and what they want more than anything in the world, you put exact words to what is going on inside of them. That's how people know that you understand the problem brilliantly. Show them by the language you use, by the list of all the things that they want, what they're afraid of more than anything else. That's how they see that you understand them, because they only care about themselves. I don't care about other 3-bedroom houses in the next town over. I care about 7-bedroom homes with weird floor plans, ones that are much bigger than the rest of the homes in the neighborhood, half antique, half modern, or some weird conglomeration like that. That's what I care about, me, my situation. Right, back to Betty. Life at the crossroads? Each of those words are capitalized. First of all, I will hunt you all down for capitalizing words that shouldn't be capitalized. This doesn't create a sense of sacredness or import. It just looks like you made a mistake. Okay, all kidding aside, I want to compliment Betty on her avoidance of using the expression women in transition. She wins a gold star for that. But just because she uses a synonym for women in transition, she still has to deal with this nebulous issue. This description is way too broad and entirely unclear. Betty, meaning you, need to address a very specific problem, one that people are actively searching for a solution for. She's got to make some decisions and trust a little, which means you do too. Until Betty's clear, not just on her About Me page, but in her marketing description, she'd be lucky to have 2 or 3 coaching clients. Clarity sells. Decisiveness sells. And, thanks to Betty for being such a terrific sport and letting me use her old site as an example. Anyway, I'm Ann Shibani of The Influential Author. I hope this little tutorial helps. Bye for now.